Our next guest here, he says, if Ronald Reagan were still president, our war against terror would be very different. For a start, let's listen to President Reagan's address to the nation after ordering U.S. airstrikes in Libya. This is April 1986. Roll tape.
For us to ignore, by inaction, the slaughter of American civilians and American soldiers, whether in nightclubs or airline terminals, is simply not in the American tradition. When our citizens are abused or attacked anywhere in the world on the direct orders of a hostile regime, we will respond so long as I'm in this Oval Office. Self-defense is not only our right, it is our duty.
Ambassador Gilbert Robinson is with us. He is the author of the book, Reagan Remembered. Mr. Ambassador, you're in D.C. Welcome to the program. Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
What do you think would be President Reagan's response to the current reign of terror in America and in Europe?
Oh, I think his would be, as he said in the speech, you have to remember that Iran, knowing that Reagan was tough, released the hostages. There was I thought at some point that there was negotiation. There was nothing. So my point is how a president positions himself is important. Listen, we're the strongest nation in the world. We've got more power than the Roman Empire when they controlled most of the world. We've got 11 aircraft carriers. Maybe the other countries have one. We must
Mr. Ambassador,
be aggressive.
I'm sure, I'm not reminding you, I think obviously you know, but after the Beirut bombing, where, 240 Americans died, President Reagan withdrew from the Middle East at that point.
No, not exactly correct. 241 were killed in their barracks. The mission that they were sent there for had been completed, and they were about to go back on the ships. The president of Beirut had requested help with the two factions that were fighting, and the Marines came in and helped out, and other people were coming in. They had finished their mission, and they withdrew. But Reagan was always strong and would act decisively.
So your point is that he was a leader in the sense that he got out front. Something happened, he would get out front of the problem and say what he was going to do about it.
Yes, and also he would tell them in advance. As I said, with Iran, they happened to know he was tough, and that's why they freed our hostages.
You think this is 1979 all over again?
Well, no, but history does repeat, and we have to learn our lessons from that, and I wish the White House would focus more on how Reagan did.
I have to ask you, do you have a guy amongst the Republicans, perhaps, who you would like to see president?
No, I think that it's very important to have experience, and I think a lot of it is just publicity. I think that the two people who really have the experience who left in the race are Jeb Bush as a governor, and also Case. And people forget Case was for 15 years in the Congress and was in charge of the budget.
Okay. Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much for joining us, sir. Appreciate it as always. Thank you.
Thank you.